this year. Lord have mercy. I hope we can make it all year without being kicked off the radio. Hey, come on. Well, so here's what I urge my millions of listeners to do. Listen, I want you all to watch that video and watch how deep Brother Sam get with Brother Loomis and tell me if Brother Sam didn't have to pay him, all right? You understand, for this interview. With our own, I know he's modest, but our own hero in the studio, he saw the need to help an individual, particularly a 90-year-old citizen who was caught up in a fire. Lord have mercy. I know he don't want to be a hero, but he's a hero on the Art McCoy University radio show, and he's a hero to the people on St. Clair and Cleveland. And we want to welcome
Brother Rayshawn Harrington.
Lord have mercy. Say that again.
Brother Rayshawn Harrington.
Rayshawn. Rayshawn, it's a pleasure to talk to you, man. I know you were just doing talk up, Rayshawn. This ain't TV. You want to talk up national life, even though you're going to be on Fox 8 for your bravery. Okay. So we appreciate that, but talk right up into that mic, all right?
Yes, sir.
Rayshawn, would you do this for me? Would you set the table for what happened to put you in a position to do what you had to do?
Well, my neighbor and I were outside, and I was walking the dog, and as I put the dog back in the house, we realized that we heard some crashing, glass breaking and stuff, so we actually thought it was a break-in. But when we went to the property, we saw it was a fire. So I immediately called 911. I knocked on the neighbor's door to get a wife and some kids out of one house. When we realized it was Miss Roddy's house, I realized she was home. Yeah. And I told the neighbor, I say, man, we got to go get her. So what we did, we took the city garbage can and threw it through the window. Brother Art, the whole back of the house was on fire. We don't know how it started, but it started in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So we went through the front window. Once we broke the window out, I tried to crawl in there and holler for her because I knew how the house was made. So she was at the top of the steps trying to come down the steps as I was hollering for her. And just somewhere in that scenario, she went quiet. As I tried to get in there to get her, the heat was just so hot, man. They pulled me back out.
Yes.
And that's when some other neighbors jumped in and we all tried to kick the front door in. That's when the fire department finally showed up and they asked, what was going on, where was she at, who was in the house. I explained to them that she was in the house and where she was. The fire department asked me, how did I know? Because I told them I just came out of there trying to get her. She's laying on the floor. She's right there 3 feet away from the window. And when I said that, he put his mask on and he went in there. And as they were trying to knock the door down, he was handing Miss Roddy out the window. We got her. We laid her on the ground. Once the fire department put the oxygen on her and brought her back to life, and she had some, she was moving and stuff, we finally put her into the ambulance, and she stuck her hand up and like, hey, my boys, and thank you, and things of that nature. And once we got her in the van, man, we just kind of looked at each other, my neighbor and I, and we just went on in the house. That's basically how it went. It just happened so fast. But like I said, we knew this woman. I knew she was home. I couldn't have faced myself just standing there with that small window of opportunity and not do nothing with it. My worst enemy at that moment, I would have went in that house and tried to get, because like I said, I was smart enough to realize that the fire was at the back of the house. We can at least try to wake her up, do something to get her attention to come down the steps. And I took some pictures of the house after the fact, man, and I realized, and I talked to the fire department after the fact, man, if we wouldn't have done what we did when we did it, that woman would have died. And they also explained to me that when we busted the window with the can, that if we wouldn't have busted the window exactly when we did it, the house might have blown up because there was no oxygen in the house. So, with that being said, Brother Art, it was just something you react to. I'm not going to say I'm a hero, but what I am going to say, my faith is the hero, because I just was taught that you look out for people in your neighborhood. I got a grandmother myself that's 86 years old. I thought of her. I thought of my mother-in-law, and just anybody in that position. If that was me, I would have wanted to live. The window was so small, I ain't had time to second guess it, you know, and I didn't realize how hot the house was until I got in there, because it actually seared the hair off the back of my hands, my nose, hair on my ears, kind of, you know, burnt the hairs in my nose and my face a little bit. But when I came out of it, I was just basically tired.
Yeah.
My neighbor pulled me back out of the fire, which I like to say his name is Anthony Chavis.
Say it.
He chose not to be here, but I told him I was going to say his name to let people know that I wasn't the only one. There was a few other neighbors. I wished I knew them to say who they were, but they know who they were, and I will gladly give them props for stepping up to help, because once we realized that we could not go in there, it became a concerted effort from the neighborhood to tear down the door, to do anything we can. But the fire department responded quickly and professionally. Man, they went in there, and I got much respect for them guys, because what I couldn't do, they did. And they had all the equipment. They had the professionalism. There was no confusion about what their job was. And, man, it was just awesome to see them guys in operation.
So this is very important what you're saying here, neighbor. And it's very important. You're actually saying that you give praise to the Cleveland Fire Department for what they did and the way they went about their business. You were impressed. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yes, I was. Yes, I was. Because after trying to go in the fire, I realized that I might have been making a mistake. But when they showed up, they had the proper everything to do what they needed to do. Mind you, this house was burning. There's a live gas line. The wires to the back of the house connected to the pole was on fire. So this was, and then the house next door, it didn't burn up, but it had the vinyl siding. That actually burnt up the whole back side of the next door neighbor house, where I got the neighbors out of as well. So this was something that could have 3 or 4 people could have died, you know. So to have all of us walk out, but really to see Miss Roddy stick her hand up, man, with life, you know, after pulling her out of there, because I thought we were pulling out a dead body.
Yes.
I really did, because she was limp, she was unconscious, and you know, I was just praying to myself, to myself, Lord save her, and like I said, once the firemen grabbed her, man, they got the oxygen on her, and I mean, everything was timed perfectly. I think a second too late, it would have been a tragedy.
Yes, Donna Walker Brown, who's in the studio with us, she always talk about what neighbors should do to help neighbors. And many times in the city of Cleveland and surrounding communities, sometimes we get a bum rap that neighbors don't stand out for neighbors and neighbors don't help neighbors. Yes, and in this particular time, that's why we wanted you into the WERE studio, the Art McCoy radio show, because we wanted to show when neighbors stand up for neighbors, right, you can save a 90-year-old person. You can save many others that could have got burned up in that house. And what it does, it brings cohesiveness to a neighborhood who might be a little bit disarray. It brings cohesiveness to let us know that if we stick together, we can do everything and we will not fade. And lastly, you say when that 90-year-old madam came out there, she said, "What? Thank you, boys." What she say?
She just my boys, thank you, my boys, thank you. And she was just thanking God, and she put her hands in the air and she was just praising the Lord, and she thanked us. And you know, I don't know if she really knew what was going on, but she knew something. Yeah. And she just knew we was there. And like I said, man, we stayed with her all the way until the fire department allowed us not to, because they have a job to do, 2 protocol. Yes. We wasn't allowed to go in the ambulance with her, but they did inform us to let us know that she had life leaving that situation. We stayed until we couldn't stay no more, far as finding out her condition after the fact. And go ahead.
I just want to listen. I just want to say right now, from the Art McCoy University Radio Show and the millions of listeners, we just want to give you a hand right now and say, job well done. Job well done, brother. We appreciate it. We're starting out 2017 right. Brother, do you have anything you want to add to this?
Yes, I do. My name is Ron Mayo, for the ones here. I'm with him. The fire department, I got a specific name, Captain Debbie Schreider. This is her second save for the year. She helped other people. And when she told me about the fire, and she told me about not having insurance that elapsed back in May, she had the house that did catch on fire, tree fell on her house. This is when all the insurance elapsed, when the neighbor's house fell on her house, and she got her insurance to try to take care of her gutter work. So I think that's where her insurance lapsed. I'm not sure.
That's all right. Continue.
But hey, man, I don't know what to tell this woman. You know, she don't know the extent of the fire yet. She still want me to go get the food out the refrigerator. I don't know what to say to this lady. She been paying insurance for 40, 50 years. She done seen this guy grow up. And, you know, I want to thank you too, man.
You're welcome, man.
I really do, man. That was my friend. That's my buddy, man. Mm-hmm. And when they said they ain't had that insurance, I mean, I was devastated, man. I was done. Because, you know, I'm the one that got to go back and talk to her.
Right.
I'm the one she trusts.
Right, I understand.
And, you know, man, I just want to thank you and the fire department. She wanted to thank you, but she don't know how. Her cousins and them wanted to come, but his wish was not to come, so I don't know about all that. But I thought I'd come down here.
Thank you
and
so
I
much.
wanted to thank the fire department.
I appreciate you too.
Debbie Schreider. Okay. She should get an American Angel Award.
All right, what's her name? One more time, say it loud.
Captain Debbie Schreider. Thank you.
All right, and
she helped me along the way. She gave me a little advice on how to handle her and just help her out. And when they came up with the idea of coming down here to the Art McCoy show, I thought I had to do my duty to come down here and thank everybody.
All right, so we want to take this another step. What we want to do, yes, sir. Listen to where I'm at. Listen to where I'm at right now. Listen, we understand. Listen, we've done everything right coming into 2007. Neighbors helping neighbors, neighbors praising the fire department. The captain and the fire department do what they have to do. Now, the last stage of this is figuring out how we can bring that 90-year-old lady house back together, all right?
Was reaching 100.
Beg pardon?
Her bucket list was reaching 100. Without that house, she's oh man.
All right, so that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
So what we're asking, we're reaching out right here on the Art McCoy University Radio Show, our millions of listeners, and we're reaching out to the millions and millions of viewers on Fox 8 News. We are going to establish a fund. We're going to establish some kind of benefit so we can get, what's her name?
Harriet Rowdy.
So we can get Harriet Rowdy. How old is she? 90 years old?
She close to it.
Close to 90. We're going to get her back in her house some kind of way. She doesn't have insurance after paying insurance 50.
Yeah.
Almost 50 years, all of a sudden.
And as soon as that tree fell on her house,
yes,
everything got twisted.
Everything got twisted. So
her paperwork at the bank got twisted. They had to reissue checks because I think somebody got in their checks. Clearly,
we understand. Yeah. Clearly, but right now, as we go, our goal is to whatever it takes to get this young lady's house fixed up.
Man, that would be beautiful.
That's what we want to do. So we're reaching out to contractors.
That would be
Fuck's sake,
beautiful.
we're reaching out to contractors. 1490 WER listeners, the Art McCoy University Radio Show. We're reaching out to contractors to come on in and volunteer some service, volunteer some material. Let's build this 90-year-old lady's house back together and make her whole again, and maybe she'll live to be 190. All right, can we get a hand on that? All right, okay. All right.
That bucket, man. She'd love to step back in that house.
All right, so Al Porter will be a great part of this. Give out your numbers, Al Porter, and how they can. Let's put this listen. Neighbors and community working together for one another. So therefore, what we want to do is we want to get as many contractors together as possible. Let's put this lady's house back together. Listen, she had, you know how it is. She had insurance for almost 50 years. I think a tree or something fell on her house, and about 6 months ago, and from that point on, the insurance some kind of way became decombobulated. I'm sure she don't even hardly realize that she don't have insurance after paying it all these years. So, Lord have mercy. Y'all listening to me? The Art McCoy University Radio Show, the University of Common Sense, asked my contractors to just use a little common sense and let's uplift this lady's house back together. Or we can do it. We can do it in a week. We can do it in 2 weeks. And put her back in her house. Oh, she wouldn't know what to do without this house. Oh, she's been in that house 50, 60 years. She wouldn't know what to do. Would y'all help? Come forward and call Mr. Porter at
216-804-7462. That's 216-804-7462 for Grandma Roddy.
All right, thank you so much. We know you'll come through. I can see my contractors now. Who's on the phone line?
On the sling for $2.25 million. That's 2 officers who pursued the private theft issue, as Cleveland will now pay $2.25 million to the loved ones of a man shot and killed in 2011 by a Cleveland police officer in Parma. According to the attorney who brought the case, the settlement ends more than 4 years of litigation brought on behalf of Dan Ficker, who was shot and killed by Cleveland police officer Matthew Kraska during a July 4th, 2011 confrontation.
All right.
Wow.
Oh, okay. All right. So the reason I'm cutting you off there is because the Art McCoy University Radio Show, we, along with Kathy Coleman and some others, we've been involved in this case from almost the beginning.
Yes, sir.
What a terrible case this was, where a young man, the Cleveland police had nerve enough to leave their district, go to Palm and kill the man. Yes, that. So I mean, it's about time they paid up. But I'm sure that the Fecker family isn't happy with this, and we're going to talk to them in a little bit later, and you'll be able to continue with that. But right now, how much money are they being offered?
$2.25 million. They say it's one of the largest settlements in the city. But before I go to Sam of Melanated Media News on YouTube.com, it's very troublesome that the 2 officers involved are still at work. It's definitely under control of the courts, where the federal...
Loomis gotta go. I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm glad I wasn't there. They'd have kicked me out of the courtroom. Go ahead.
They
I'm
sure
sorry.
would.
Go ahead.
The federal judge
Loomis gotta go.
overseeing
I'm sorry.
Cleveland's police reform efforts said Friday he did not think the election of Donald Trump would change or end the settlement the city entered into more than a year ago. Chief U.S. District Judge Solomon Oliver Jr. said during a status conference that the city's settlement with the United States Justice Department, known as the consent decree, or as Gary calls it, the settlement agreement, is not for the executive to change or to cause it to move in a different direction. He acknowledged that different lawyers may be on the case, but as far as he is concerned, there is no reason reform efforts won't go forward. He said this case didn't start yesterday. This case was investigated. this case was negotiated, and the city and the Justice Department came to the conclusion that this was the best thing to do. That came directly from Judge Oliver.
All right, so that came from Judge Oliver by you being in the proceeding. Were you in the courtroom on where?
I was in the courtroom.
All right, so you all were in the proceedings in the courtroom, and I understand that about a lot of activists was on one side of the courtroom.
Yes.
Y'all packed one side, and the other side was Loomis and the union people on the other side.
Yes.
Man, y'all lucky that I wasn't there, because we'd all got kicked out.
Me too.
You understand? Judge Oliver, I've been kicked out a lot of places. I've never been kicked out of a federal courtroom. Or we might have got locked up in a federal courtroom, but we would have had to chant, Loomis gotta go, because he is truly trying to mess up that process.
And our part 5 of our interview, our final part of the Loomis interview, is posted 2 days ago. We discussed his view on Black Lives Matter being a domestic terrorist group. We discussed illegal protesting and should people be protesting in the freeways, and about an accident being caused in an ambulance, and the person couldn't get to the hospital because people were protesting. So we really dig in deep in these issues. We talk about the consent decree. He doesn't agree with the consent decree. So watch the interview at Melanated Media News. It's an hour and 45 minutes.
So let me ask you this question, Sam.
Go ahead, sir.
How many millions did you pay Loomis to get this interview? Because you're the only black media source that got this interview. So how much did you pay him? How much did you bribe him? Come on with it.
$1 million of monopoly money.
Oh, come on, Sam.
And, Red Rock, I think, Red Rock Demolition.
Yes.
And then he dumps it at his own Arco dump.
Lord,
That's land bank property and land bank money funding that East Cleveland dump.
Lord, have mercy. Oh, my goodness, it's getting deeper and deeper. Somebody going to jail. Go ahead, talk to me.
Well, so how are we going to get him in jail?
The people power. To say, hey, listen. Here's our slogan right now. We dump Norton. Norton is gone. The dump is next. We're gonna get. Man, we're not gonna let that dump stay there. And we got a 104-year-old lady right behind that dump. This is a cry for her. We're not gonna let that dump stay there. Listen, brother Gary. Listen. Anybody in there? Listen. This is the Art McCoy Universal Radio Show, the University of Common Sense. I don't give a hoot. Lord have mercy, y'all gonna make me cuss. I don't give a D about you all telling me about it's safe and it's legal and all that. Anybody with any common sense can see that this ain't right, and we're gonna get it out of there. Okay, talk to me, Gary, cause we go ahead.
So here's part of what makes it complicated. The land bank director of acquisitions and disposals, which includes demolition, is Cleveland Heights Mayor Cheryl Stevens.
Okay, all right. So that's good, because Cleveland Heights is getting some of this toxic too. So if they're involved, we're going to get them too. Listen, I don't.
Here we have the Cleveland Heights Mayor.
Yes, go ahead.
The Cleveland Heights Mayor is part of this dump in East Cleveland.
Lord have mercy. Come on.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Give me more.
Well, that's all I've got about the dump. I don't want to make anything up.
Hey, you gave us enough, man.
Yes,
you gave us enough. You know what? I know. Listen, when I knew that people were scared about this dump was when we did the march, and Gary Norton, former Mayor Gary Norton, who ain't never been to a march, was out there ready to march with us to spy on us. That's why I know things were touchy. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. That supposedly break-in of Mayor Norton's office, I'll bet you any amount of money, and I don't know, this is speculation, let's get that right, and that's me, not the management of 1490 WERE, let me make that clear. Listen, I'll bet you that break-in was called to take those papers about that dump. Now watch me, you understand? Listen, common sense, okay? But listen, that's me now. If you want to mess with anybody, mess with me. That's my speculation. Nobody else. Not Gary's, not the station, nobody. Okay?
Hey, now let me ask you this. Now, what is going on about this new recall of is it Joey Graham? Is that the council person's name?
Listen, I don't know. I won't deal with that until we're sure what's going on. Listen, I don't believe in just throwing eggs up in the air trying to catch 18 of them. I believe in when we get something concrete on that, then I'll report to you back concrete, okay?
Concrete that is a recall?
Yeah,
campaign?
concrete that the people that's recalling got their eggs in a basket and they'll be able to catch them and we'll be able to win. I'm not going into whimsy stuff, okay? We do too much of that, all right? I'm not saying that it's not.
Wait. Okay. So that was my question. You know, is what's going on, and now you explained to me. I mean, all we got to do is get some signatures. It's not that hard, right?
Listen. It's hard if you're not organized, okay?
Right.
So that's the whole thing, Gary. Okay?
By the Powerhouse SARC, which is one of our ministries at the House of Prayer Ministry. The whole purpose of it to empower our community and to present an array of empowerment devices, speakers that will empower, give a chance for startup businesses to expose their work, their plan for business. It's to promote our, and it was in my spirit to do it by God. It's a vision to help stop the violence, to help stop the murder and the crime. And this year's event, it's going to be a spring edition, our first spring edition of the event. And we're going to be driving home, planning home gardening, and we're going to connect the dots so people can understand what caused crime and violence, because when you understand it, then you know how to stop it. Pastor Cheryl.
To piggyback off of what Pastor said, this whole initiative, and that's what it is, and movement is really to put on the mind of the people another way of life, another way of living. Sometime, not all the time, but sometimes you have people who don't do any better because they become a product of their environment, so they just do what everybody else does. Through this empowerment event, we want to show them another way to live, another way to sustain themselves, to sustain their family, and also to shake up and awaken the spiritual renewal inside of people.
Yes.
Because the spirit got to be renewed. You can't keep feeding the body.
That's right.
Feeding the flesh.
I'm a witness.
You got to wake up the spirit.
Yes, ma'am.
And if the spirit don't get woke up, you just going to have a bunch of dead folk walking.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's really what this is all about. And for those who have a mind or just have a desire to maybe hear something else other than what's been put out there, Getting Smart in the Park is the place to come in order to get that done. It's about empowerment. It's about being the best person that you can be. And it's about learning a new way of living and a new way of communicating in our community. Our community communication sometimes can be real shady. And
yes,
it can be violent.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, we have a tendency to deal with each other in a violent manner, a hostile
yes,
manner.
Ma'am.
Well, we want to show you that we can have communication, wholesome communication, even if it's not we high-fiving on everything, but we can still communicate. We can still live together, and we can still better ourselves in our community. And that's really what it's about. It's about touching the soul of people.
Empowering people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I hear you very clearly. Now, listen. Go ahead. All right. So here's where we're going to take this right now. Listen. Brother Fred, do you want to say something? Go right ahead.
Yes. One of the things I want to
talk right into the mic, Brother Fred. Yeah.
One of the things that I want to say about getting smart in the park and what this thing is creating for the community, it's an opportunity for business owners to show or showcase their business as well as the community as a whole, for people to get a chance to learn about their neighbors and also network. Just imagine learning your neighbor at the same time as networking.
Yeah.
And see, for myself, being a kid, these are the type of event that empowered me and instill responsibility in me. So that's why I'm such a big supporter of this. And it helped me to, when I grew up and become a responsible adult, these were the things that I saw in my community, that not only people didn't sit down and give them to me hand to hand, by me able to see these events, you know, they empowered me from a whole different perspective. So that's why, to me, these things are important, and we really need to, you know, try to support them for our kids, because the kids are the future.
Hey, and Brother Fraser, from a country boy to the big city, you turned out all right, didn't you? You were empowered, weren't you?
Well, and I can't take the blame for that. And like I say, it's what the community did for me, from a country boy to the city, and seeing all these things from people that did positive things and didn't realize what they was doing was helping a kid like myself.
Lord have mercy. Boy, if you could see Brother Frazier now, you would see how much he's been helped, and how much he's empowered, and how much he's empowering other people, along with our great Pastor Thompson. Now listen, before we run out of time, we got to get into the meat of this empowerment event. I want Sister Cheryl, I want you to tell us, we got some great
the folk that come actually to be a part of it. We got all of that. That's the normal thing. But this time around,
yes, that's what I want to talk
what's
about.
going to make this even bigger event, if you will, a more memorable event, is that we have 11 great monster prizes that can be yours.
Yes.
It's open to everyone. It's open to anyone. And we have some fantastic prizes that we are going to be giving away as a part of this event. I need to let you know that it's about a donation also. If you make a small donation, and I do call it small because once you hear these prizes, you will understand. You make a small donation, it automatically enters you into the drawing. What we're going to be giving away as our grand prize is a brand new Ram truck 2017 4x4. Anybody who's into trucks, or if you ain't into a truck, you will take that.
I want that truck. I want that truck. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can have it too. We ain't gonna close you out.
Yes,
we
ma'am,
got anything that you need to know how to do it.
Yes.
You need food.
Yeah.
You need to know how to grow some. This will get you started on that. Our ninth prize is $500 cash in the form of a certified check. Our 10th prize is another tiller, a front tines tiller, and our final prize is fishing tackle. So if nothing else, you can grow you some vegetables and catch you some fish.
All right, so turn back to
Getting Smart in the park. I'm losing my thoughts. Go to the Getting Smart in the park is at http:// tpsarc.com/events/2017 lower line GSITP, another lower line Ram line truck line giveaway. Or if that's too much, https://www.universe.com/GSITP 2017 Ram truck. If that's too much, pick up your phone.
Yes, that's me.
Flip it open, whatever.
Yes, that's me.
216-543-1817.
Wait a minute, I'm slow. Give it to me one more time.
Or call 216-543-1817.
I'm a little old. Give it to me one more time.
Call 216-543-1817. We are right here in Cleveland. We ain't all out of town and all that. We right here. We're local. and we can get you a ticket or 10 tickets, whatever you need, we can get it for you. Whatever is convenient for you, we there to help you through the process. If you want to get it online but can't figure it out, call 216-543-1817 and we'll walk you through the process.
They want to assist and help getting the tickets out there, getting this information out there. You could also call 216-543-1817, and there's some job opportunity there as well.
All right, wait a minute. Now, job opportunities. Say that one more time. Say that number loud and clear.
216-543-1817. It's job opportunity. Anybody need work, just give us a call
And
at
the opportunity that he's talking about is selling that ticket. When you sell that ticket, you will get a percentage of it.
And so you can make some money. Pastor, can they make a nice buck?
$15 each.
$15 each. All right, no doubt about it. So listen, we only got 3 minutes left. Let's wrap this up in any way you want to wrap it up, because I'm going to bring y'all